Hello everyone. Today I am going to present to you one of Nick Joaquin's most famous writings, the the story of a portrait of the artist as Filipino. Now let me just start the PowerPoint presentation. So here you go. So who is Nick Joaquin? Now, Nicomedes Nick Joaquin. Nick Joaquin is his pen name. His real name is Nicomedes Joaquin. He is a Filipino novelist, a poet, a playwright, an essayist, and a biographer whose works present the diverse heritage of the Filipino people. He was well known as a historian of the brief golden age of of Spain in the Philippines as a writer of short stories suffused with folk Roman Catholicism. Joaquin wrote his works in English. He was conferred the rank and the title of National Artist of the Philippines for Literature. He has been considered one of the most important Filipino writers along with Jose Rizal and Claro M. Recto. Unlike Rizal and Recto, whose works were written in Spanish, Joaquin's major works were written in English despite being a native Spanish speaker. So that is Nick Joaquin. Now, the plot of the story goes like this. So, into the introduction, it was when Pepang and Manolo went to their old house to pay their father and sisters a visit. And they also want to talk about selling the house so they can bring their father to a hospital since he is badly injured from falling to the balcony. Pepang also brought Don Perico, the congressman, to help them convince their two sisters, since Don Perico is their godfather. So they were hoping that maybe Don Perico can help them convince the two sisters. Now when they arrived at the place, the two sisters weren't there. They went to the market. Paula went to the market while Candida went out looking for a job. Now, the rising action would be when Paula and Candida arrived at the house. So they wondered why Pepang and Manolo are there. So they explained why they were there. Upon hearing the offer about selling the house and donating the portrait of Don Lorenzo to the government, they immediately declined since that was the purpose of them. Paula and I mean Paul I'm sorry, Pepang rather and Manolo coming to their house. They immediately declined the offer from their older siblings. Now, the climax goes like this: Manolo and Pepang got frustrated as to why they would never agree with their suggestions because they wanted to sell the house so that they can put their father to a hospital. And they also want them to sign the papers for the pension of their father so that it can help them financially, since they are financially unstable at that moment. But their father and even their two younger siblings, Paula and Candida, did not agree with what they want. So they got mad and they both started to insult Paula and Candida. They even told them that hopefully they'll take it into consideration because they can't support them financially any longer. So they also included that maybe Paula and Candida did not want to leave the house because of a man named Tony Javier. Now, Tony Javier, this is the man whom they're going to allow to stay in their house, a lodger. Now, they included this in their conversation because Pepang and Manolo heard that they're older, their younger sisters became the laughing stock in their town. So they got mad and they confronted it to their younger siblings. Now things started to heat up, so they told their older siblings the truth about what happened to their father, that it was not an accident, because they were like, no, that's not true. There's a reason beyond why we don't want to leave the house. You What you're thinking right now is not right. So everyone got confused. because all they knew was their father accidentally slipped on the balcony. So both Pepang and Manolo got so confused and begged the two sisters to tell them what really happened. So they told them that they blamed their father because of their wasted youth. That's the first. And the second one because of their poverty and even the husbands they never had. So all those things they blamed to their father. So of course, hearing that as a father, maybe maybe will get sad. So that's the reason why their father wanted to die, and so they don't want anything to get sold as of the moment, because they still want to make amends with their father. They still want to ask for forgiveness. And if they were if they're going to agree with their older siblings and with their godfather Don Perico, it will be an outrageous act coming from them, given that they already committed a mistake to their father. So after knowing that the following action, the room has been filled with frustrations and sadness. Pepang and Manolo understood and tried to give them some time to reconsider, because it is not good that they live in the same house with that kind of problem, right? So they all need to separate the three of them at the right time. So they gave them space, they let them cool down a little bit, gave them time so that sooner or later they'll come into their senses and agree with their older siblings. Now, the resolution or the ending is when Tony Javier came and also tried to convince them to sell the portrait but they denied the offer. Sorry, this is but. So Javier and Paula talked about their dreams, about traveling, and according to Paula, her dreams died a long time ago. But Javier told her that it's not too late. She can still pursue it. She just have to take a leap of faith, follow her dreams, because no matter how old we are, we can still follow our dreams. So that's what Javier is trying to say. So the characters and characterization. Now first is Don Lorenzo. Don Lorenzo is the father who has no more will to live. So this is according to Don Perico. As he was looking at Don Lorenzo lying in bed, he can observe that this man has no more will to live. He's like a hopeless man. He lost hope a long time ago, and looking at him, he looks miserable. So he is the father who has no more will to live in this scene. Next is Don Perico. Don Perico is the congressman who used to be a poet and wants to acquire the portrait for the government. Actually, Don Perico is the godfather of Paula and Candida. He used to be a poet before, but because of societal demands, because things changed, he dived into politics to support his family. Because um, according to the book, it was written there that one of the sisters confronted him that why would why we should listen to you. You even left your passion in the very first place. So Don Perico told them that my writings, my pen, and my paper won't save my families from the war. So he had to take another option. He had to sacrifice his passion for writing to support his family. So that is Don Perico. Next is Pepang and Manolo. Now they are the married older siblings who wants to sell the house. They were responsible for taking good care of them for a couple of years, even like 10 years later they were paying bills to keep up the house and to support their younger siblings and their father. They are the ones who are trying to convince them to sell the house, to donate the portrait for a pretty amount of money. Next is Paula and Candida. They are the two spinster daughter of Don Lorenzo. They are the two daughters that are still living with Don Lorenzo as of the moment. They're already old enough, but still they are still living with their father. Now Tony Javier is the man who was known to be linked with the two sisters and also convinces them to sell the portrait. Next is the story setting. Now, the story took place in an old house in Intramuros before the Philippine World War II. It was on the late 1940s. The story and the second scene only took place in the sala, stairs, and balcony of the Marasigan's house. The beautiful portrait on the wall was also introduced. The beautiful furniture inside the house was also mentioned, like the chandelier, the marble table, the um was that the sala set if I'm not mistaken, the piano, all those beautiful furniture inside the house was also mentioned, giving you that vibe of the 1940s. Next is the conflict. On the second scene, the major conflict is the issue of selling the house so they can bring their father to a hospital to donate the portrait to the government in return of a pretty amount of money and to sign papers for her father's pension. But the two spinster daughters of Don Lorenzo did not agree because of what happened between them inside the house. They blamed their father for their unfortunate destinies, which resulted in the suicide of their father, which was thankfully not successful. Paula and Candida did not agree with everything they said because they wanted to make amends with their father from what they did, and agreeing to everything Pepang, Manolo, Don Perico, and even Tony Javier's offers will be outrageous for all of them. Next are the themes. Now, for me, the three themes that I have observed on the second scene is first the family conflict, their feud for the family, I mean, for the old house. They want to sell the house. They were having conflicts way before. They even mentioned when they were having problems of money, and then Manolo were nowhere to be found. So I mean, Pepang had to support their family for for the past 10 years. Next is the drifted dreams. So for me, this is one of the crucial themes of the second scene because of their drifted dreams, their dreams that had faded. It led to this unpleasant state of their lives right now because of their drifted dreams, because of the poverty, because I mean under different circumstances, their dreams faded, their dreams drifted. So because of that, problems came in, the family conflict came in, and next is the social indifference. Now I included the societal indifference because I observed how um, Pepang and Manolo and even the congressman were trying to please the two younger siblings and their father to sell the house because it was obvious how their status one was on a lower level of the society. So it was like while reading the book you can imagine that okay, these people right here belongs to a higher level of society. It's like they're on middle class families, and then their younger siblings who's left behind to their father was at the lower class. So that's the themes that keeps on recurring on my mind while reading this story. Next is the symbolism. Now the first one is the portrait. Now the portrait symbolized hope and passion. Hope that somehow when they agree, the portrait can help them. It can help them improve their lifestyle. They can go on a better house. And passion, it's because this has been one of the greatest masterpiece of Don Lorenzo. Next is the balcony. Now for me it symbolized distress because it is where Don Lorenzo fell off. It is where Don Lorenzo committed suicide, and I mean fortunately it wasn't successful. Now, the third one is the house. For me, it symbolized the forgotten dream. Before all of the things that they had, all their childhood memories, all those beautiful things happened to their house. But throughout time, as they grow older, they had forgotten how, um, what do you call this? They had forgotten how important it is for them, how sentimental it is as time goes by, because it came to the point that they want to sell the house for financial reasons. So that's it. Next is next are the lessons I have learned. So the first one is that we should never ever blame anyone with what is currently happening in our life that isn't pleasant for us, because we have the capability to turn the table, reach our dreams and shape our destinies. So what you do today will surely affect your tomorrow. We should start building the future we want to live starting today. If we want a happy life, if we want a stable life, then start working on your dreams at this very second. Um we should never waste our time doing things that aren't beneficial for our future. Now the next one is that no parents are perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and we owe our life to them even if we did not ask for it. So let's be grateful and return the favor of making them happy instead of making them miserable. Now, the last but not the least is, if you have the capabilities to give an assistance or a support, may it be financially or emotionally, give it with no expectations of receiving something in return. Instead, think of it as a gift of wisdom and kindness that they will give to others when the time comes. Because sooner or later, when things get better for them, they'll realize and remember that man helped me get on my knees. So maybe I'll do it on to others because I want to return the favor. So that would be all. So that's all from the second scene. And this is Irish Nicole M. Avila, Bachelor in Secondary Education, major in English, Section 3A.